Oh, yeah. Stunning! Honestly, I think these are so cool. Hi everybody, I hope you're well. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I created this photograph of my friend Demi. So, let's crack on. So this is just a fun idea that I had a few weeks ago, and I was thinking, ooh, what can we do in the garage? Because obviously it's quite a small space, but with creativity and off-camera lighting, there's still so much that we can do. I mean, for example, in this garage, I've already produced these photographs, which I'd like to think are all very different, but I'm always thinking of new things to do. So I love long exposure portraits, I love light painting, and I know that Demi is an amazing dancer. She can move really well, so it's like, oh, how can we combine the two? Then started thinking about angel wings. I thought, let's just put angel wings into Amazon and see what happens. And we found these LED, well, it's like a little more like a cape, but these LED lights. So I thought, oh, if we can put this onto Demi, and then we get our camera settings right, which hopefully we will in this video, then I know that Demi can bring the gold. Speaking of which, it's Demi! So I will ask you, please, Helen, if you can help to put this onto Demi. So again, I just bought this cape off Amazon. It wasn't expensive at all. I think it was like £20. It's just battery operated here. So yeah, if you want to turn it on for now, please, just so we can see what this looks like.
Ta-da!
Now, I mean, it looks cool anyway. I think it looks cool on the video, hopefully. But bear in mind that we have the lights on in this room. So in order to get this shot looking really cool, as with any light painting photograph, you really want to take all the ambient light away. In other words, we need to turn these lights off. Now, when we do that, it's going to be hard for you to see me, obviously. So I have a Rotolight Neo 3 here, which I'm going to turn on. This is just a LED light, basically. Now, this I want to light me, but not to light Demi, so it's pointing completely towards me because, say, the moment it affects Demi, this whole photograph won't work. I've also kept up, I'm hoping I can get away with these LED lights. Helen, Demi and I have just filmed this video where I was using these background lights to create crazy effects. And I might still turn them on at some point in this video, but what I'm hoping is, with my camera settings, you won't see that background at all. And I know that when I take those LED lights down, there's no way I'm going to put them back up again. So we thought, let's leave them up for now. But what I'm going to do is turn off these lights. So already it looks really good. Yeah, this is going to look amazing. So what we want to do is set our ambient settings, in other words, what I call our layer 1 settings, so that there is no natural light getting into the frame. I'm going to check, yeah, I'm just checking here that this is not affecting in any way the area of the garage that Demi is stood in, because if it does, I'll have to turn it off, but it shouldn't do. So I already know that shutter speed wise, I would like to be quite a long exposure. I'm thinking of something maybe like a second. So let's just put that in. So 1 second exposure. I also know that I want to kill the ambient light, as I say, so I'm going to go to a very low ISO. Now, I am on today my Sony A9III. I love this camera. This camera, I assure you, if you're into off-camera flash, is an absolute cheat code for off-camera flash because of something called the global shutter. I won't go into it so much in this video, I won't go into it at all in this video, but just trust me, if you are into off-camera flash and that's your thing, as it is mine, this camera, I think, is the best in the world. The slight downside, the tiny downside, is that the base ISO is 250. And when you're doing long exposure portraits like this, especially indoors, you really want that ISO to be as low as possible. So I'm going to go below the base layer and go to ISO 160. And then the aperture is whatever it needs to be to kill the ambient light, bearing in mind that I am on a 1 second exposure, so that aperture needs to be quite narrow. I'm also on my Viltrox 50mm f1.4 lens. If I go to, say, something like f8, off-camera flash is not turned on at the moment, we'll talk about that in a second. What I'm hoping is we get nice movement, and we do, but we can't see anything of Demi yet. That's what I'd expect. Now you can see here why I'm struggling a little bit with the walls. I mean, I love the walls here. Big shout out to Oscar with a K. Here's a little time lapse of how he's transformed this space, and we love the We Flash People mural that he's made, so thank you, Oscar. But in this example, I wish we didn't see the walls, but we can't do anything about that because the reason we can see the walls is because the wings themselves are lighting up the walls. We can't solve that. But I think base layer wise, that's good. So what we want to do now is introduce off-camera lighting to light Demi, but not light much of the rest of the scene. So to do that, in fact, let me just turn this on for a second, just to explain. I've got my MagBox Pro 24 Octa, and very importantly, it has the grid on there, and that's important because that's going to limit the spill of the light. If you don't have a grid, the light's going to come out, bounce all around the room. We really don't want that. In there as well is a Godox V100 speedlight. All I need to do now is turn on my trigger and make sure that we've got a nice exposure on Demi. Now, I'm not going to change my layer 1 settings, in other words, my base layer settings, because they're already in, they're fine. If you don't understand what I mean when I talk about layer 1 and that sort of thing, please check out our free, completely free to watch, 1 hour, 15-minute introduction to off-camera flash tutorial on the Flash Masters website. Completely free to watch, completely free. You just need to join as a member, but say that's all, then you can watch that. But basically what I do is I get in my base layer, in other words, the ambient light, which I've just done without turning the flash on. My only job now is to turn the trigger on and then get my settings right to light Demi. And then if Demi's too bright, I simply turn down the flash power using my trigger. I'm not going to change the camera settings anymore. So from the last shoot, we were on 132 power. Now that won't be enough for this shot because I'm now at f8, whereas in the last video where we were doing shutter drag shots, I was at more like f2.8, something like that. So that's going to allow more flash power. But let's just see what we get at 132. I'm expecting very little. Let's see. We do have a light on Demi's face, and it's actually beautiful light, but it's not quite bright enough. So again, I'm not going to change my camera settings. Just going to go to the trigger and turn up the flash power to 16. Little test again, Demi. Close. Now I could actually do something with that in post. Again, beautiful. The light on Demi is amazing. But let's go to 1.8 power. Okay, that should get us there, I would suspect. Yeah, now that looks really nice. So our next job now is just to compose. It's quite a tight squeeze here, but that looks really good. Okay, perfect. We've got to take a couple of these. Beautiful, Demi. I'm going to keep on shooting as you're doing that. Just looking, oh yes, just looking towards that light, Demi. Beautiful, Demi. Notice how sharp Demi is. That is because we're at f8. Now that's not a creative decision. That is because I need to lessen the light getting into the sensor because we're on such a long exposure. But f8 also means that there's a big depth of field. So Demi's going to be really, really sharp, which is really nice. Also, I'm trying to preempt here some of the questions I may get, which is why do we have the blur of the light, but Demi is so sharp? That is because the light of the wings is not affecting Demi. If it was, then she'd have a little bit of ghosting. So Demi is only being lit by the flash, not by the wings. Now if we put the wings close, in fact Demi, can you just put the wings close to your face if that's okay, please? And then introduce some just movement there. No? I was expecting to see some ghosting here. Oh, there is a little bit there on the right hand side of her hair. That's just because the light of the wings will affect the ambient on Demi's face a little bit. I thought it'd be more than it is. Well, that's a good thing for us. One thing that I'm going to try and do now is we can see the walls and they're quite sharp. So I'm going to go to a slightly longer shutter speed of 2 seconds. Now, the flash will still go off once, so Demi will be frozen, her face will be frozen, we'll get more movement in the wings, but within that 2 seconds, I'm also going to move the camera slightly. That will blur the wall edge that we see at the edge of the frame. Yeah, that's good. Gorgeous. See now that the walls are a little bit more blurred, but Demi's face will still be tack sharp. But yeah, that looks really cool. This time, can we just try something if you're able to face that light, but almost like wrap it round you. Can you wrap that round you? I don't know, like more like a coat. That looks gorgeous. Yeah, just looking up towards that light there. Yes, Demi, that's really good. So I'm going to ask Demi to stay still for these, and I'm going to introduce a bit of the movement myself. So you're just going to stay really still, please, Demi. So notice as I take these, I'm spinning the camera round. I am struggling here with the focus. Normally, if you're struggling to focus in the dark, as I am here, what I would suggest is you turn on the modeling light of your flash, which I've just done now. So if we go around here, you'll see that there is light now coming out of the MagBox, which is great because that means I can focus on Demi. However, because I'm using a long exposure, at the moment I'm on a second, what will happen is, and I'll show you now, 3, 2, 1. I'm expecting us to get a little bit of go, not so, but we do get a bit of ghosting, but it's not too bad. What I was expecting, because I'm at a long exposure, is that the modeling light would light Demi, I would press the shutter, the flash would go off, but then the modeling light would come back on and affect the exposure, but it doesn't seem to have done that. I'm going to go a little bit closer now, because I think these look lovely. Yeah, really nice. Again, when I'm taking these, I am moving the camera at the same time, like that. Yeah, it's cool. Say, I just love stuff like this. You can never get the same shot twice. It would be impossible, thank you, Helen, to replicate these. That's what makes it quite fun. Once you've got one, you think no one can ever take that again, including me, because it's such a unique shot and I love that. It's like you also get these little nice happy accidents, like the red that you can see on the screen now coming from the back of Demi's neck. It's coming because there is, well, I don't remember what it actually is, just a lot of red just there, but it just looks like fire, which I think is really cool. So yeah, I love what we've got. This is quite important, I always think. When you've got the shot, whatever it would be that you intended to get, which I now have, I think it's really important and really good practice to then try something different just to see what you would get. Now in the last tutorial, I love the effects that I got with this filter. In fact, here are some of my favorites where I use this. So might as well try it again now. There is nothing to lose. The difference between this video and the last one is that on the last one I was with my 85mm, this time I'm on my Viltrox 50mm, so the effect will look slightly different. So let's see what happens. So actually, Demi, I'll put you exactly as you were. Oh my God. You can see there on the camera that there is the middle part of this filter, which I can't remember the name of, apologies, it will be on the screen, is clear, so it shouldn't affect Demi. So I'm going to put Demi right in the middle. Nice, Demi, looking up towards that light. These are stunning. Yeah, love it. You are an angel. Oh, yeah, stunning. Love these. And then the big swoosh, please, Demi. Yes. Wow, these look so cool.
Ah, is it weird to say you look like a parrot? Oh, yeah, they're so...
Yeah, love that. Yeah, they're my favourites. Again, there is a lesson. Let's get back into the light. There is a lesson there. I I liked what we had in the first place, but remember the golden rule. Take the safe shot, and it's not a safe shot doing long exposure, but get the shot you intended, then play. Okay, I'll try one other thing. I don't know what any of these will do. Let me just try this one. That's cool as well. Oh, we've smashed it. Love this one. Let's see what that'll be beat. Yeah, love these ones. These could be my favourite ever Demi shots, and that's saying something. Just looking straight at me, please, Demi, if you can. Yeah. Gorgeous.
As with all my photographs, all the photographs in this video were edited using my Lightroom preset pack 4, which includes 26 magic masks, 18 brushes, my base colour and black and white preset, plus a 2-hour editing tutorial video in which you see me editing 101 photographs using all the tools in the preset pack. So you can see exactly how I edit my photographs in Lightroom. You can download the pack now from my website.
Again, this is probably more for my reference as well. I'm not moving the camera. All the movement here is coming from Demi. Again, my settings are 1/3 of a second, f8, ISO 160, whenever you're ready. And the speedlight, the V100, is on 1/4 power now. Yes. That's it. Honestly, I think these are so cool. And again, the important thing to remember is these are completely different to what I was expecting. Make sure we've got the one. That I think is cool. Cool, so huge thank you to Demi, massive thank you to Helen for filming as well. And I think the lesson that I'd like you to take away from this is that when you set out to take a creative portrait, whether it be a long exposure portrait, whatever it would be, once you've got the shot that you set out to take, play around, even if that's something as simple as changing the lens that you're using. Whether you're changing the lens, you're changing your shutter speed, whatever it would be, give yourself that extra chance of taking something that could be completely different to what you thought you were going to take, but you might end up preferring. Say, I set out today for a nice long exposure wing shot, which we got, but through Demi's excellent posing and through me thinking, what happens if? What happens if I shoot through this filter? Because I did not know. That's where you create something that hopefully will be one of your favorite shots from the whole session. So I much prefer the creative stuff that I did with this filter than the safer long exposure portrait on its own, which is what I set out to. So bear that in mind when you're next shooting. Get the safe shot, play around. As always, if you have any question about anything I've done in this tutorial, Flashmasters mode, if you have any questions about anything I've done in this bog standard YouTube video, then please let me know in the comments. Remember, if you want to learn more about off-camera flash, Flashmasters is the place to do so. You can join now completely for free and get access to my introduction to off-camera flash tutorial, and you can make your own profile page. And if you decide to join us on a pro membership, use code Neil for 10% off. You get access to everything that we offer, and trust me, there is a lot of content on there. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Demi again, and we will see you next time. Smashed it. And I love, love, love those ones.
They're amazing.